Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Just a bit of a heads up, I have a bit of a cold going on, so my voice might sound weird in this video. For today's video we have a very long one ahead of us, so bear with me. We're working on the Valiant. For those of you who are new to the channel or those of you who haven't seen this car before, this is my 1972 Chrysler Valiant. In the US this was sold as a Dodge Dart. I've made a video on this before, just go through the channel and watch that if you want to find out more about this car. This is the first car I ever bought back in high school, so I've had it about 7 years and it has been my daily driver ever since. Now, as a daily driver, I need it to be fuel efficient because it's quite thirsty at the moment. I get about 6 kilometers per liter. I'll put like a little conversion down here to miles per gallon for my Imperial folks. But yeah, at the moment I'm paying too much in fuel and I want it to be as fuel efficient as possible. So we're gonna try to remedy that today. So this is a Formula S, which means it has a 2-barrel carb. Now this carb's very worn out, so it's hard to tune. Like I'll tune it and it will be out of tune again in 3 months due to the vibrations and whatnot. So to solve that problem, I got a new carburetor. But the carburetor that I got is a Weber 3236, and these Webers have progressive secondaries. Now, a quick explanation of what that is for those who don't know. Here's an old Carter 2-barrel. Regular 2-barrels, the butterflies are linked together, so both open at the same rate on the throttle position. Now, progressive 2-barrels, you have the primaries alone opening at low throttle positions, and if you step on it, the secondaries will come open. So, theoretically speaking, I will lose performance because I'm basically driving on a single barrel for like the first 30% of my throttle. But when I step on it, I still have 2 barrels. So I'll lose cruising performance, but I'll gain fuel economy. And if I really did step on it, I will have some performance at wide open throttle as well. Now, to do all of that, we need a bunch of shit, including an adapter kit because the bolt patterns aren't the same. And we also need a fuel pressure regulator because the mechanical fuel pump on the Slant 6 pushes about 6 psi, I think. And these Webers don't like anything more than 3 psi, otherwise they flood their float bowls and whatnot. So we got a little simple mechanical inline fuel pressure regulator. Also, because I want to tune this as well as I possibly can for maximum fuel economy, I also got an O2 sensor and everything we need to install that. It's just going to be temporary to tune it and then I'm going to take it out. I don't like modifying this car because as it is right now, it's pretty much original. So I don't want to modify it as much as I possibly can. Also, if you recall from a previous video, we had an exhaust gasket leak. The Slant 6s always blow out the exhaust gasket on cylinder 6 because the gasket is very thin there. So I did fix it in a previous video using like that exhaust gasket paste, whatever. It's like a white powdery thing. That was always going to be a temporary repair until I could get new manifold gaskets either from the US or Australia. Now these ones are a bit more beefy. They're from Australia. So I'm going to be installing that today. And also, because we're installing a new fueling system, we might as well give the car a proper service. And that consists of doing the valve flash, putting in new spark plugs, and putting in new oil. Now, when doing the valve flash, obviously you have to take off the tappet cover. What do you call these things in American? I don't know, rocker cover, whatever. Valve train cover. And when you do that, the shitty stock cork gaskets that you have on always rip. So I found this online, which is like a silicone gasket for the Slant 6s, which should hopefully leak less than the cork gaskets and also be reusable. So we'll be installing that today. Regarding the oil situation, we have a bit of a problem because I like using Dallo 400 for my Slant 6 because it's the most readily available oil in Namibia that has a high zinc content, which is good for solid flat tappet camshafts. Now, I read somewhere in an article in like 2021 that because of emission regulations, Caltex had to like adjust the formula of the oils, and one of them that was affected was the Dallo 400 range, and the zinc content has reduced in it. Now, unfortunately, these cans that I had on my shelf has already expired. Oil has a shelf life of about 5 years. So I do have oil that still has the high zinc content, but unfortunately it's just too old So I'll have to do some more research and find a new alternative oil with a high zinc content. Other than that, that's pretty much, oh, big thing that I almost forgot. My radiator is leaking. Let's quickly cut to that. Cheat. So, as you can see from the little clip I just played, my seam has pulled apart on the tank here, and as such it's been steaming out my coolant, and I've been driving it around like this for a couple of months because like I said, it's my daily driver. This car can't be standing still, otherwise I don't have wheels. Now, in order for rust to occur, you need three things: moisture, air, and metal. Now, with this thing leaking and the fluids going down and having to be topped up, there's a lot of air being introduced into the system, so there is probably some rust now. So before we fix the radiator and take it out and all, we'll put in some of this radiator flush, drive it around just to get it clean. But yeah, then we'll drain it, take it out, solder that, and then put it back. But yeah, as you can see, a lot of stuff to do today. This has already been a very long introduction, so I might make this a two-part series. But yeah, we're gonna get to it, so stay tuned. Okay, so I've removed everything that I've had to remove. I just need to clean up all of this before I continue. Also, it was a good idea to use some radiator flush because look how nasty that coolant is. It's supposed to be like lime green. Anyways, radiators outside in the sun drying up so that I can sandblast it clean and sort of leaks and then repaint it. Just one thing quickly regarding the manifold. Before I can put them back, I might need to do a little repair. So the reason why the Slant 6s tend to blow out on cylinder 6 is because the wall thickness here is quite thin compared to the wall thickness on the other ports. So any imperfections in the mating surfaces on this port will blow out the gasket. Now, I forgot about this problem because obviously I fixed it with exhaust sealant, but when it blows out, you can see it erodes the surface a little bit. Now, I'm sure it will get better once I have it clean, but I might potentially need to weld this a little bit and then just work it down before putting it back in the car, because otherwise I'm just gonna blow out a new gasket and then all of this effort was for nothing. Let's quickly discuss the carburetor situation. So, like the idiot that I am, I ordered the wrong air filter. This is an air filter for Weber 3236, but just for a different version of it or different configuration. Because as you can see, this is not going to fit there. And where's the gasket? Like, obviously the gasket's junk as well now. But anyways, it's not a big problem. I can modify this, cut this, and just put a plate in so that it works with this. And I'm not too bothered about that because I only planned on using this temporarily anyways, because I'd like to use my pancake filter. To be honest, I quite like the look of it. The only issue is that I'm not sure if I would be able to, because in order to put the pancake filter on the Weber, I need to make some type of adapter spacer that allows this circular thing to mate to this weird ass non-circular thing, and then the height of that spacer plus the filter plus the height of the adapter plates, it might stand too high to like fit under the hood line, so that's going to take some testing before we get to that point, unfortunately. So this is just a temporary thing for in case that plan didn't work out. Now, speaking about this adapter, as you can see, where the two plates bolt together, their holes aren't concentric, which is obviously terrible for airflow, and bad airflow equals bad performance. So gonna take the Dremel and fix that issue. Now, regarding the spacer itself, I have some concerns because this is a single, like this is a hold spacer and not an open spacer. Now, why that is of concern is because the primaries on the Weber is gonna sit here. And I'm a bit concerned that the fuel air mixture having to backtrack into these runners are going to be a bit of an issue. So I might open this up a little bit and have it like be more tapered. Need to do some research before I, you know, mutilate this thing too much, but that's essentially the plan. I just want the airflow to have as an easy path as humanly possible. But yeah, I think this video has gone on long enough. Definitely gonna be a multi-part series, might have 3 parts even, because there is a lot of work to do here. But I think that's it for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I think I'm gonna fix the radiator off camera probably. So I'll see you guys in the next video once we start putting shit back together, which will actually be exciting. Cheers guys, thanks for watching.